been testing out a few items from the clean beauty brand named Lawless over at my local Sephora. My radar has shifted to a few of the clean beauty brands. So Lawless is the first one up for my review. So I have 4 products. I did pick these out from the sale section at Sephora, so they are available now if you want to try them out too. I apply everything on camera so that way you can kind of get my thoughts at the same time. I'll let you know how my experiences have been with each particular product, and then I'm going to give you some tips as well. So in the event you pick it up, you might get the same experience I did. Hopefully my tips will help you out. So the first one I'm going to start off with is the Woke Up Like This. This is the Flawless Finish Foundation. On day 1 for this foundation, I didn't have any type of color changes. I didn't have any type of skin irritation, nothing. So ever since then, I just have been wearing it with various primers. The one I noticed that I keep reaching for with this foundation is the Milk Hydro Grip. I'm almost done with my little deluxe sample. So that's actually the one I have on today. That's what it looks like when you first take it out of the pump. So at first glance, it's like, that's pretty thick, right? I'm saying this because, again, read the reviews. Everyone's having different experiences with it. What I've noticed is a full pump is just too much. Now that's my preference, but what I will do is just barely try to get this out with without getting a full pump. And it's really just lightly pressing it, and I work with about that much there. Now it wouldn't be a Stephanie video without adding some sort of a glow to the product. So I'm going to add the True Match Lumi. This is the only lotion I have not used yet with this foundation, so I want to see how it looks. The clips that I'm going to be inserting right now, that's how the foundation looks without any type of glow, anything added to it. So you can still see how it looks like on my skin tone. That's my first tip. Work with a very small amount. Build it up, and you'll get the coverage level that you're looking for. Add too much in, and you're going to be wasting a lot of product. So I just put a little bit of my glow. That's my thing. Put a little bit of my glow and go from there. Now the texture of it, you can see, still looks like that. I've applied it with my fingers, again, trying to work in the texture. And then I've applied it with my brush, which is the one I'm going to be using for today. It's fine. So use what preference, that you prefer. Brush, hands, fingers. And I buff it into the skin. It blends into the skin and it goes where you want it to go. So this is the foundation. As long as you work it by not using too much, it behaves. I've noticed from the reviews online, I'm just saying, I think people are just using too much. But again, it's going to be a level of coverage that, it's going to be different for everybody. I can also, go dab back into the formula here. And that's when I go in this second time and only apply it in the areas in which I feel I need that extra coverage. So again, you're working the way that you want. What's the coverage you want? You want full all over, or do you want it just where you actually need it? Because we all have different foundation preferences. This is, of course, my preference. Put in something that's a do. And then just go back in a little bit at a time. I have worn this outside. I've worn it with a mask. I've worn it on a couple of hot days. It did not transfer down, like, melt on my face. It did go on my mask, my face mask, which I expected it to. This foundation, just from reading online, it's not claiming to be something that's completely budget proof for something that's going to be, transfer resistant and so forth. So just keep that in mind. It will, go off on a clothing or, again, a face mask. The undertone and the skin tone match for this foundation, they nailed it. I don't even think I said the color. I am in the shade Heat. If I did not know that this brand was a clean beauty brand, I would have thought this foundation is just a regular foundation that is behaving the way that I like and is giving me the coverage, getting the pigment level that I'm looking for. The fact that it is a clean beauty brand, that's the next step up. Because when I'm looking at clean beauty, I'm like, you know, they've come a long way. I'd be lucky to actually have one in my shade. So I'm very impressed with that. I'm just going to use the Beauty Bakerie loose translucent powder here and just set in the areas that I would normally set. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my face makeup because the next product to share with you is the highlighter. Just going to wet the brush. I'm not really going into the product, just kind of want to put a little bit of moisture here to kind of further emphasize that. Now up close, I can see the shimmer. I can see the shimmer, but still just looking at it, see how it's just laying on the skin? It's just that formula just stays and it's opaque on the skin. Again, I used this dense brush. So that is where I feel that is where the customer is going to, you know, come into play. Are you going to want to have to remember to use that type of a brush? Otherwise, I feel that you're just not going to get the color payoff on your brush if you use anything that's not a dense brush. And that's just my, again, it's just my opinion. And that's how I've been able to get this to work ever since I just changed the brush. Moving on to lips, and then we're gonna leave eyes for last since that'll take up the most amount of time. So this is what I have. It's our soft matte liquid lipstick. I only have one shade here. Now this states here on the website, high pigment, ultra nourishing soft matte liquid lipstick with a smooth finish and lightweight comfort. So soft and matte to me, meaning not matte in the sense that it's gonna be so overly drying. I'm expecting it to be a comfortable wear, and that's actually what it states, a comfortable liquid lipstick. Now it states it's long wearing, creamy experience, breakthrough formula, does not crack or fade. You know, the characteristics of a liquid lipstick that you probably do not want it to happen, that's when I'm thinking, okay, good, this is going to be, you know, a nice change from that. I chose the shade Brad, which I would describe as just that soft rose mauve shade here. I believe these are named after the actors because she's got like George, like Clooney and Ryan Reynolds. Or who else is Ryan? I forgot that guy's name in the Notebook. I forgot his name. I don't know if his name is Ryan, but Brad as in Pitt. Yes. This doesn't have an alarming scent. Like nothing like where, oh, it's vanilla or a fruit scent. It's going to show you up close what it looks like when you pull it out of the wand. So it's just, you know, it smells like almost like skincare. Very, very light. This light needs to stay on. Come on. So I'm going to apply it on now just to show you what Brad looks like. No lip liner, nothing else. So it's a lot lighter at first application. It's a lot lighter than I tend to go for. As far as a pink, if you know me in real life, I'm not a pink fan. I really am not. But my whole life, I don't care for pink. But it is the color that every time I wear pink, people go goo goo gaga over it. And they're like, oh, you look so good in pink. I'm just like, ugh. Moving on. See how I kind of rub my lips together? It's like it's a bullet lipstick. I feel like Magda, is that her name? Or something about Mary. Just kind of wanted to show you as it starts to dry and so forth, not only the color, but this is also what I noticed. I can see the cracks. It's not very much of a smooth formula. It's also, you know, your own lip area. I exfoliate every morning, my lips, but again, just letting you know. Now on day one, even with the lip liner, what I have experienced, and I have filmed another video, so it might have been shown in that video, wearing this, there is the film that collects up there in the lip area. Here is my Charlotte lip liner. Oh, this needs sharpening. We'll see how this goes. And then just going around the edges. This is another thing I like about this. And then just going around the edges with my lip liner and deepening it up. Now this is blending in with the formula. Nice. It's just, you know, help changing the color, but it's blending in. I also can wear my lips, and it's not disrupting the formula in the sense like it's all changing and sliding and streaking, you know what I mean? Like how some liquid lipsticks will react when you start adding another product with it. This one is behaving. I can work with this. I can work with Brad like this. You know, kind of stretch the lips out. You know, I can really see the lines being completely emphasized. And, you know, the liquid lipsticks that I wear from ColourPop, they're not like this. They don't, like, this is noticeable in the mirror. Like the lines are quite noticeable. I'm going to put a gloss on, and then we are going to move to eyes, the eyeshadow palette. I'm just going to use my paint pot. I'm trying to, again, use the products that I tend to use the most. This is in Painterly. Out of the 18 shades, 13 are matte. As someone who loves mattes, I'm here for it because I build up my eyeshadows. So if you're someone like me, you like to build up your shadows, you like that. The mattes blend so good. So good. This palette, a lot of times I'm forgetting that I am using a clean beauty palette. What I like about the color families are there is the perfect blend of the different families. Like you have this bronze, you have the mauve, you have the, you know, the lighter toned browns. You have a nice color story to build up. That's me. But if you didn't want to build up in tone, of course, you know, you can kind of start wherever you want and go from there. I'm just going to be deepening up just the outer edge here. Okay, I'm going to take my small brush again to go in with the black. This I'm just pressing right into this little area right here. And I'm going to be bringing it down for the lower lash line. Just using it as a, what I call like half eyeliner. So I'm not going to completely line my eye with it. It is not midnight like matte carbon. We're talking black. But it's a deep enough black that you can work with it and not feel scared. Here are the stars in this palette. Fling, Obsessed, Crushing. The first three shimmers and metallics, I mean, you put them on with your finger and they're just shine. Looks like liquid metal. Again, I was shocked. I was shocked. I get down to the last one here. Well, actually, let me go back up. Crushing has that satin pearl appearance on it. I'm going to put on Obsessed with my finger. Crushing has, again, that satin finish, so it looks like a softer shimmer, a softer metallic glow. Now I get down to Cutie, and that is a formula that I feel is a little bit chunkier. So that one, I know to kind of baby it a little bit when I'm putting it on. It has glitter in it that likes to kind of break apart. So I'm just a little bit mindful of that. I like to put a little bit of fling in, a little mixture of fling right there, because it's just such a shiny, shiny shade. And I don't even wet the brush, and just kind of pack it on, and you just have that shine. That is a beautiful yellow. And I think I've worn fling as a tear duct shade as well. This just gives me that sunrise, you know, the shades of the sun, orange, bronze, and yellow. I wanted to do a bronze eye, but it doesn't, I don't like this pink lip with it. All in all, this is a palette that can play with other big boys up in Sephora. It can play with against the Huda Beauties. It can go against like the Fenty Moroccan Spice palette, the Urban Decay Born to Run. This formula, it's, again, forgetting that it's a clean formula, it is behaving as any other high-end eyeshadow, and I like that. I just, like I said, I'm just amazed. Got some pigment in it, so it's on sale. I believe it's $45, and I definitely feel it's worth the cost. And do the other eye. I'm going to change the lip. I hope you don't mind, because I wanted to go with my little bronze eye and mascara and all that, and then I'll come back, give you my final thoughts. My final thoughts. Woke Up Like This foundation. When I come across a foundation that has the pigment level that I am seeking, and it is a dead-on match to my skin tone, I have to look. I have to look at it and be like, okay, do I need to tweak you? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? Because as we know, it's quite hard when you can match yourself into an undertone and the shade as well. So this is something that I am going to be keeping. I hate that we can't get samples anymore, because that's the first thing I will preach is get a sample and test it out. But, you know, hey, you know, here in the US, if it means returning it, if it doesn't work out, you know, it is what it is. But it is something that I am enjoying. So I'm happy it's in my collection. Next up is the Soft Matte Liquid Lipstick. This is not something that I personally enjoy to the extent of, if you ask me, well, recommend it? No. I have my other liquid lipsticks that lay flat, that are not emphasizing every line, every wrinkle in the lips, and that really do work well. So that's just, again, my preference. So I'll use it and I'll mix it in with my lip liners, which is what I have to do to tone down the strong pink, but it's not something I personally am going to be reaching for on a routine basis. Next is the Lucid Skin highlighter here, the Afternoon Delight. I love the tone. I like that this highlighter is going to be serving a vast majority of skin tones. I like that. You can use it as eyeshadow if you're someone that does that. I tend to use my highlighters as actual highlighters, and then I also mix it in with my lipsticks, but you know, to each their own. But I do enjoy this highlighter. I like how it lays on my skin and how it's not emphasizing anything. Keep in mind my tip that I had mentioned about using a dense synthetic brush. That is where I feel you're going to get the most color payoff with that highlighter. So that is something to consider. I also like mixing it with the Amrezy highlighter, and it looks really good. So it just, I like it. My only recommendation to the brand would be to change and improve the formula. So that way, doesn't matter, synthetic or natural hair brush, the product itself, it's going to pick up and apply to that consumer's skin. That's what you want. You want a highlighter that's not something that you have to think before you actually apply it. So that would be my only recommendation, but it was on sale and I'm happy with it. So I'm gonna hold on to it. The last is the One eyeshadow palette. This would be the first product I would say to pick up from the brand, especially while it's on sale. Second would be the foundation if you can find your shade. This is named exactly perfect of what it is. the one because of the tones that are in this. This has an excellent color story, meaning of the whole gradient effect. But the gradient is enough where the browns, you have a neutral brown, you have more of a cooler tone brown, then you have a warm tone brown. You have the tones within that, let's say browns, so I'm going to pick on the browns, in which it will create different variances to your eyes. So you can do a cooler tone neutral look. You can do a warmer tone neutral look, is what I'm trying to say. Then you can also warm it up with the oranges that are in here. But the two oranges in here are definitely different. You have one that has more of that yellow tone, more towards, you know, that opposite end of the spectrum. Then you have a orange that leans more towards the orange red. So you see what I mean? They're still part of the same color story, but they're going to have a different look on the eye, and depending on which side you want to go. You want to do cool, you want to do neutral one day. Then if you want color, because not everybody wants color. Some people are just happy for the rest of their lives using brown every single day. That's not me, but there are people that like that. So with that in mind, when you look at color, you may be thinking, well, I don't want a green, I don't want a blue. I don't care what people say. When someone is into neutrals and they want to go towards some color, it needs to be a safer color. So when you think of a safer color within the color family, pink is safe. Rose and mauves, it's a safe color. It dips your toe into color without completely going in. Point is, you have the color here to satisfy you, and it creates a pretty pink look. This shimmer, metallic, whatever you want to call it here, this is the only one in this entire palette that I'm having issues with. But I know I'm just going to use it with my finger. I'm just going to pack it on. And the last point I want to make is with the black. A really good sign of a good palette is having a nice strong black. This plunge is so easy to work with. I would not be intimidated by it. And that's a good thing, because black, the rich matte black, is very intimidating to the customer, especially a neutral lover customer. They just be like, you know, red flags. You shouldn't be like that. But the shades in here, the formula, they blend well. So you have a black that is going to blend well, and it's not going to go all over the place. It's very easy to work with. Clean beauty makeup in itself and skincare products too have come a long way. I come from when it, like I said, barely any pigment, and the packaging wasn't nice, and just very, very narrow demographic, you know, fair skin, and that's it. Just, it was horrible. So to look at Lawless and to see this, I'm impressed. You know, everything's not perfect, obviously, the look of lipstick, but what I've tried, I'm impressed with. Okay, and I'm interested in trying more, so that's a good sign. Those are my thoughts and little mini reviews on the products that I picked out from Lawless at Sephora Clean Beauty. So let me know if you've tried anything and what are your thoughts, even the blushes and the other lipsticks, bullets, and just any a bronzer too. Make sure you leave your comments. I want to know how your experiences are with the other products. These are on sale, so if you want them, get them now before they're completely gone. So I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I just want to thank you for stopping by and watching, spending some time with me. It is greatly appreciated. Everyone have a wonderful day or evening, and as always, I am going to see you in the next video. Bye.